Mandalorian, Episode 5, Chapter 21, The Pirate. There's more than one pirate, but we're picking one, I guess. This is going to be a very different type of review. Not really, but anyway. I'm stalling. Let's get that intro. Grogu. 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 Grogu.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Season 3 of Grogu. Now here's your host, Potty Man.
How do you do, G-Pod crew? It's your Naughty Buddy Putty here, and today we're doing a brief review of Mandalorian, Episode 5, Chapter 21, called The Pirate. Now, as far as Easter eggs or anything that goes, I might go through a few brief things throughout this video, depending on how I'm feeling. It's been a little bit of a crazy night, a crazy week. We have the Mario review coming out, and then, of course, WrestleMania, all this kind of crazy stuff. But with that being said, I want to talk about how good The Mandalorian is setting off itself when it comes to episodes. It's funny, the show is growing into something special, and I think what makes this show so good is because it is taking elements of old feudal Japan movies and things of that nature, but we're fleshing out a good story about bringing Mandalorians back into the limelight in a good way, and then opening up for new ideas. And now, in the world of Star Wars, we could have the Republicans, we can have the, or not Republicans, but the Rebels. We don't really want the Imperials or the Empire, but, they're there. And then now the Mandalorians are starting to be part of that growing population of beings that were always in hiding. And at the same time, we do have Mandalorian was thriving back in the day. And, prior to all the series like the Clone Wars and all that stuff, but just targeting the one character I love, which is Boba Fett. I've grown to love Din Djarin as a version of Mando better than Boba, only because the Boba we have now doesn't feel the same like the Boba I had. Now, as for Din, it's a different story. Din is much more something akin to what this storyline fits for me, and especially since you need a fatherly figure for Grogu, this feels more appropriate. Boba Fett is not a fatherly figure. He is a kick-ass motherfucking dude. Excuse my French, I did cuss, I don't care. The point of the thing is I thoroughly have enjoyed everything that's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and just talk about why I feel this season's growing to be something special, and how there are signs of this supposedly actually supposed to happen prior to, as far as the original season, things of that nature, especially coming back to where this whole series started. So, opening up the doors to what I mean is just in general, them coming to their Kargan's defense, and then also bringing in the rebels. Here's the reason why I feel this: the rebel doesn't have any kind of hold on Navarro, so it really does change how things are with this location. And the reason I say that is because having the Imperials hold one spot, having the Rebels have other locations, then of course there's the independent societies. Now having Mandalorians on Navarro to help defend Navarro will put them out there as good souls, I guess you could say. Not the, they can be badasses by being those heroes that we want in the Star Wars universe. But they still get to keep their we're badass kind of situation. So, I love that Mando is actually the more caring part of the story, though he is a badass. But his attachment to the rebels, as we see here, bringing this guy back in from was it season 2? I think it was. That's a big situation that I'm very happy to see because, I mean, you really don't want the Mandalorians and the rebels to be bad guys. So, I mean, there is the whole situation of forcing. It's basically forcing this civilization to really latch on to Mandalorians as a good reason to exist. Now, here's my thing. You know, the baseline story is great, and then going into the whole idea of, you know, her removing her helmet and changing the storyline, and combining both Mandalore, traits that they believe in society. Here's my thing. I get it. People want the guy Pedro Pascal to be able to show his face, and as an actor, you want to be able to show your face. But that is a hard truth when it comes to these things: is should he show it or not on a regular basis? And I don't think he should. But I hope this isn't opening the idea that they will, because here's the thing: even though we've seen his face, I still live more by the helmet than his actual face. Pedro Pascal in The Last of Us looks great over there. And his other things he's done, he looks great. This just isn't one of those remove helmet things, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to get that thing. Here's my thing. Keep the Mandalorian helmet thing on. Have people like Bo-Katan where she can help her helmet off, which fits the character, and then let us grow as that. I think what's going to happen is Bo-Katan is going to end up leading her own people that will not be subjected to having to have a helmet on. And that's the storyline we're going to be focused on when it comes to her, maybe in the later series. Because, again, you don't really need to even change or put her in her own series, because she is a Mandalorian, and the show is not called Grogu or Din Djarin, even though my title might say differently when it comes to Grogu. No, you are looking at the show being called The Mandalorian. Who is the Mandalorian? It could be any Mandalorian. The Mandalorian could be your favorite, whether it be Boba Fett, Din Djarin, Bo-Katan. And I know I say Din's name very harsh, because I don't know how to say it properly. Din Djarin, or with the DJ, is very hard for me to say, and I'm just going to have to learn how to try to say it. So if I'm not saying it properly, I do apologize. Now, I know this episode's gone on a lot, and nothing has been subjectively Easter egged or anything like that, which I guess is why I also titled this review. But I wanted to just get my point across of what we're possibly leading into, and what they're probably doing in opening the whole idea that Mandalorians in general are now a bigger part of Star Wars, and at this moment are even bigger than Jedis. And I am happy for that because of one reason. Expanding the universe of Star Wars and not focusing straight on Jedis, I think, is another thing that's kept this longevity of this franchise. We are now coasting into something new, which means that movies might lead into more Mandalorian storylines, and I'm okay with that. The line that will set on that threshold to this day will only be one little guy, and that is Grogu. This guy is what is going to be the path between Jedi and Mandalorian. And this guy is going to be such a crucial part, because he already is a crucial part. He is the star of the show. He's always in the background. But when they can finally say, okay, and this is exactly what I think is going to happen, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I think that what's going to happen is this guy is going to be the way to make things non-boring and link the sides together. And what I mean by that is we're going to have, there's going to be eventually people are going to get bored of The Mandalorian. They're like, okay, we're done with this series, continue on. That's going to give a path to keep Grogu, but path it now to the Jedis and bring Din into that whole thing. He's not going to understand it, but he knows that Grogu at some point is going to need to have that, and he can always still be there, even if he can't fight. He could always still be there for Grogu. So I think this guy right here is going to be the key to how Mandalorian and Star Wars is going to grow. And I think Jon Favreau knows this. I think he knows that there needs to be something cute and cuddly that can also be badass. And when this little guy is learning from a Mandalorian and from Jedis, or at least learned a little bit from Jedis, there's no telling what he can do. This was not my excuse to bring out Grogu, I promise. I just didn't know what to do with this review outside of just loving this series altogether and embracing the craziness that it may, put forward as a geek. Boy, I tried to make things intelligent, didn't I? I don't know if it worked. Tell me what you guys think. Drop a comment below. Did you like this episode? Did you like my talk about it? Did you like seeing Grogu again? I know people in my live stream miss seeing Grogu. Nope, you can't have the mic. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm Putty with the G-Pot crew. You know what we do. We love the Mandalorian and Grogu, too. Just love this little guy. He's much cuter on the TV screen, though. Sorry. You're still cute. I know this felt weird. Sorry. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.